I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL. In this video I'm going to talk about my top 10 aquatic fragrances. You know what? We can do better than this. Let's go on a road trip. Well, if you're going to talk about aquatic scents, may as well come to the sea. I'm on the hunt for the perfect spot, always the most difficult thing when you're shooting outside. We came onto the beach all the way over there, off in the distance. I've walked all the way down here to get away from people, to find some seclusion, but I think I've found a good place. We've got the sea, we've got seaweed, we've got rock pools. Gonna sit on that rock just there. So I think I've found a decent little spot here. It's always difficult to find places to film on a busy beach on such a sunny day, but I'm glad we've come to the ocean to talk about my top 10 aquatic scents. So what is an aquatic scent? For me, an aquatic scent is first of all something that is relatively simple, not that complex, quite easy to wear, quite mass appealing. Also, aquatic scents generally will have some kind of note structure that reminds me of the ocean, so there might be some salty notes in there, or some marine breeze type of aldehydic notes. Also, fragrances that don't necessarily smell exactly of the sea, but can evoke the imagery of the sea or memories of the sea, are the ones that mean the most to me. So the 10 fragrances I'm going to talk to you about in this video are the 10 best aquatic fragrances that I have in my collection. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is from Azzaro. This is a new release in the Wanted lineup. I loved Wanted by Night, so I was really eager to check this out. This one is Azzaro Wanted Tonic. Yep, this is a pretty simple, generic fragrance. I think a lot of you will already have fragrances in your collection that might smell like this. Reminds me of something maybe that Azzaro would do, so you can get this sort of DNA for cheaper. But I really enjoy the way that the salty marine accords balance nicely with the sweetness. There's a hint of ginger and there's a nice kind of musky base to it as well. Performance is average, but in the heat it works all right. This reminds me of maybe like a cool marine breeze on an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It does exactly what it says. It's a tonic, it's refreshing, it's invigorating, it's a nice day scent. Not groundbreaking, but I just keep coming back to it. The next one is from Paco Rabanne. This is another aquatic fragrance that has Aqua in the name. It's Invictus Aqua. So this is the 2016 version. I do prefer it to the 2018 version. I like both, but I prefer the salty accord that this one has. I think there's a note of yuzu in here, which gives this almost salty, sour marine accord. So this just has more of a bite to it, which I like, but it's balanced really well with the sweet bubblegum nature of the original Invictus. It's not as sweet as the original. I think it's a better balanced fragrance than that one. Out of all the fragrances on this list, I would say this is probably the most complimented. It's a very mass appealing DNA. So if you want to get complimented whilst wearing an aquatic fragrance in the summer, see if you can find this one. The next one I've got definitely wins the prize for, I think, the nicest looking bottle and the most aquatic looking bottle. This one is from Roja Parfums. It's even got ocean in the title. This is Oceania. So this is one of those aquatic fragrances that doesn't exactly smell like the sea. It doesn't have these salty marine accords. So for me, this one evokes the imagery of the sea, the feelings maybe of looking out at the horizon of a peaceful, twinkling, deep blue ocean. This is sparkling, refreshing fruits, and there's some white florals in here. So it's quite an elegant fragrance. It's a very classy, sophisticated scent. If you're in a situation where you want something refreshing and something very refined, I can highly recommend Oceania from Roja Parfums. The next one is one of the most popular, fresh, modern men's aquatic fragrances. From Chanel, this is Bleu de Chanel and it's the EDP. For me, this one has a bright, breezy, ozonic nature. There's citrus, woods and incense. It's quite rich and thicker than a lot of fresher aquatic fragrances, and I love that. It's really evocative of the deep blue sea. It smells masculine, it smells clean. Yes, it's got a bit of a shower gelish vibe, but in a really good way, in a way that I really enjoy. I have great memories of this. I bought this when I was on a trip to Portugal, so I wore this when I was on the Algarve in the heat. It worked perfectly. I filmed a review by the ocean, so I have memories of a lovely time spent with family on the Algarve in Portugal and filming my review of this. I will be forever reminded of good memories and of the deep blue ocean. As far as fresh modern masculine scents go, it doesn't get much better. This one is another niche fragrance, and it's the one that's giving the Roja bottle a real run for its money in terms of its presentation. From Atelier des Ors, this is Riviera Lazuli. This is such a beautiful scent. It's got a gorgeous sea breeze accord and a slight piney greenness. It makes me think of a tree-covered Greek island. There's also some incense in here, which is adding a little more complexity and just making it smell a little more rich than a lot of aquatic fragrances. It's also good performance. It smells really high quality. It steers away from generic blue fragrance territory that a lot of these blue aquatics can find themselves in. If you want to treat yourself to a great quality, unique smelling summer aquatic, I can highly recommend Riviera Lazuli from Atelier des Ors. So this next one is incredible. It really stirs up fond memories and emotions that I have linked to being near the sea with family on holidays. This is probably, of all the fragrances, closest to what you would associate with a smell of the sea, and it's also the cheapest on the list. From Perfume Parlour, it's Wood Substance. This one is Perfume Parlour's interpretation of Tom Ford's Oud Mineral, and it's got such oceanic connections. There's some sea salt, seaweed, ambergris, and when I smell this one, it makes me think of walking down a beach somewhat like this one when the tide's gone out, and you can smell that fresh, damp seaweed, and you can smell the rock pools. It's almost got this dirty marine accord, so it captures these accords. But what is so intriguing about this fragrance is it just balances it with sweetness, and it is an incredibly wearable fragrance. I really enjoy this one. I will definitely be picking up the Tom Ford original at some point, but for a £5 for this little 13ml, it's been great to discover this scent DNA from Perfume Parlour, Wood Substance. So this one I don't have a bottle of. It's a house I've just recently discovered. They sent me some samples. It's a niche house called Art de Parfum, and this fragrance is called Sea Foam. I'm really glad I've discovered this house. Fantastic quality fragrances. So Sea Foam is bergamot, incense, sea notes, seaweed, eucalyptus, so an intriguing note breakdown. And this is one of those fragrances that just really opens up my memories. I have very fond memories of being by the ocean. We used to go and play in the sea, we used to wear our wetsuits, and it just takes me right back to to those carefree times as a child, just in and out of the sea all day. I can almost get a hint of neoprene from the wetsuits that we were wearing back in the day. I don't think that is an accord in here. I think it's probably just my association, but nevertheless, it really transports me back to some of the best memories of being by the ocean that I have. So it's pretty difficult to put an aquatic fragrance video together without mentioning anything from Acqua di Parma's Blue Mediterraneo line. This one is amazing. It's Mirto de Panarea. I describe this as a classy, grown-up aquatic. Yes, it's not going to be as compliment-getting as something like Invictus Aqua, but this is certainly a more sophisticated, more refined scent. We've got some herbal accords and some citruses. Acqua di Parma actually list marine breeze as one of their notes, and this just makes me think of sitting on a beach, and it's a beach where there's greenery above the beach, so these aromatic herbal accords are drifting down onto the beach, mingling with these salty marine sea-type accords, and it's just so exquisitely done. This is a scent to wear if you want to smell classy, refined and fresh. The last one I've got for you is, in my opinion, one of the best marine aquatic fragrances. It smells mass appealing, it's going to get compliments, it smells classy and refined, ticks all the boxes. From Dolce & Gabbana, it's Light Blue Eau Intense. With this one, its strength is in its simplicity. It's certainly not a complex fragrance at all, but that's not really what you want out of a summer, fresh, aquatic fragrance. There's some salty accords, there's some sparkling citruses, some clean aromatic juniper, and some sensual musk. It's just got everything that you need for this type of fragrance. You can wear it as a signature scent, as a casual daytime scent. You can wear this as an evening scent. You can wear it all year round. I do think it excels in the summer just because of the connections it has with the sun and the ocean. If you love aquatic fragrances and you don't own this, you really should. If you're just getting into fragrances and you don't yet own any blue aquatic scents, this would be a good place to start. So there we go, 10 aquatic fragrances that I really love. I'm glad we brought this on to the beach. I don't think this would have been right to do this just in the studio. I've got the smells of the ocean, I've got the seaweed, I've got the rock pools all around me, the salty marine breeze. It's just been absolutely perfect. So I hope you've enjoyed me bringing you out onto this location. Let me know what you thought of my choices. Do you agree? Try to mix up designer and niche for you here just to cater for everybody. And let me know what your #1 blue aquatic fragrance is at the moment. I would be really interested to hear. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.
Oh, I'm slipping away, so don't let me go, nah, 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 nah. I'm all up in that love haze, so where do we go now? Just let me know that I am safe here in your arms. I wanna stay.
So now the filming's done, time to get aquatic.
So don't let me go now. Your love is exceptional. It fills me up. It's out of control, out of control. Oh baby, I love the rush. It overflows.
Ready? Okay. Welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. For today's video, I've brought you to a very appropriate place to discuss the new release from Memo, Ocean Leather, and this place is also a very special place for me. I've brought you to the Cove.
Drive around in a city full of shame. Everything
at the Cove, a very special place for me. This is where I used to come for my summers. This is where I think of when I think of oceanic smells, marine-like fragrances. It all brings me back to this place right here. We used to do every beach-based ocean activity you can think of. We went scuba diving, we did snorkeling, cliff jumping, fishing, we brought the dinghies, we did swimming, everything. It was just amazing. We used to spend days and hours down on this beach. Fantastic place, a really important part of my life. So it's great to bring you guys here and let you experience the Cove as well. An appropriate location also to talk about the new release from Memo, which is called Ocean Leather. First of all, let's take a look at this bottle and the notes. We've got mandarin orange, violet, basil, elemi, cedar, sage, nutmeg, vetiver and leather. I love leather in fragrances, especially when the word Memo comes before it. Ocean Leather is the latest release in the Queer Nomads line from Memo Paris, and every fragrance in that line is a leather-based fragrance. Usually they have a country associated with them. Let me tell you, it's a fantastic line of fragrances. I feel like African leather gets most of the hype, quite rightly so. That's one of my favorites, an amazing fragrance. I love all of them. I would say also Oriental leather really stands out for me, Italian leather, beautiful line of fragrances. So how does this compare to the rest of the leathers in that lineup? The first thing I need to say about Ocean Leather compared to the other fragrances in the Queer Nomads line is it's a departure, it's quite different. I find the rest of them quite rich and heavy, full-bodied, strong, potent fragrances. This isn't that. This is a light, fresh, elegant, much thinner fragrance and a subtler fragrance, I think, as well. And I was surprised not to see more oceanic notes in the fragrance. Sometimes there is some kind of synthesized molecule that is meant to replicate the smell of the ocean. There's none of that in here. They're all naturally listed notes. No ambergris in here. I expected there to be ambergris. When you smell it, it's almost like there is ambergris because it just has that smooth, clean, oceanic vibe to it. It's not a strong sea salty oceanic vibe, it's more a scent that evokes the feeling of being by the ocean. It's basically a citrus, woods and leather scent, not a complex scent at all. The strongest note for me is mandarin, although it does blend really nicely with other citruses as well. It's fresh, it's invigorating, it's like you're standing on the sea's edge with your toes dipped in the water and you close your eyes and just take in a big deep breath of fresh air. It's that kind of fresh feeling and it gives you that feeling of well-being that you get when you just breathe in that sea air. The next accords that I get are the cedar and vetiver, and as it dries down, the mandarin, the citrus just blends really nicely into those woods. And then underneath that you get leather, but it's a very subtle leather. I think more so you smell it when you go closer into your skin, but it is just fixing the fragrance down. And I also get kind of a slight seaweed, sea salt, oceanic vibe. It's very subtle. It might just be my associations with a fragrance called Ocean Leather that's making me think of that, because there aren't any notes in here that indicate that it should have that sea salt, marine type vibe, but you know, it kind of does. That's it really, citrus, woods and leather. Simple but effective, less is more. It's certainly not a complex fragrance, as I said, very different from the others in the Queer Nomads line. It has a smoothness to the blend that you would associate with a niche fragrance at this price point. And basically it is a refreshing, elegant, very easy to wear, high quality summer fragrance. A few people in my family have smelled this, so I just want to give you their feedback. My dad really enjoyed this. He loves those subtle, understated, citrus-based, clean fragrances. My brother-in-law sprayed this, really enjoyed it, felt that it was a nice masculine fragrance. My mum really enjoyed this. She would definitely wear this. She felt it was a really nice feminine fragrance for her, and my sister enjoyed this. So I have some footage of my mum and my sister smelling this for the first time. So let's take a look at that. What have you just tried?
Oh, Ocean Leather.
Yeah, the new one from Memo. Ocean Leather, you like it?
Absolutely gorgeous. The citrus smell just hits you right away. It's gorgeous.
You like it?
Well, if you're not leaving it here, it's going on my Christmas list. I don't smell the ocean, I don't smell any leather, but because it's citrusy, it reminds me of being by the ocean, because The Mediterranean is where you get your citrus fruits.
So I've got my sister Tasha here.
Hello.
She didn't know she was going to do this video until I told her she was about 5 minutes ago.
Been caught off guard.
So thanks for being a good sport, Tash. We're in Wales. You've been here a week. Have you had a good time?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Lots of coastal walks and beers by the sea.
It's a nice place to come and relax, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a fragrance here that I'm doing a video on, and I just thought while you're here, it'd be great to get your opinion on it. It's called Ocean Leather by a brand called Memo Paris. Nice bottle, isn't it?
Very nice bottle, very appealing. I like the sort of rose gold, bronzy finish to the front.
Yeah. You're not familiar with this house or this brand at all? No. Okay. What I think we should do is you spray it on yourself, have a smell, and you can smell it on me as well, because sometimes it smells different on different people, and just let us know whether you like it, what you think of it.
Okay. So is this a men's fragrance or is it unisex?
Unisex.
Unisex.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's my kind of fragrance. Maybe not for the frag heads out there. I think I like the commercial mainstream fragrances, but
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I think it is quite a easy to wear scent. It's not very complex or challenging that you might find the frag heads wearing.
It's very inoffensive, I would say.
Yeah. So, does it make you think of the ocean? Do you get an ocean connection at all? I mean,
A little bit. I mean, it's very citrusy, which it isn't necessarily, you know, related to the ocean, but it's very kind of fresh, and it gives you that feel of, you know, this fresh sea air kind of breeze, summer breeze.
I agree. I think it rather than it smelling like the ocean, it evokes the feelings of being by the ocean, doesn't it? It's like breathing in that fresh sea air.
So it's quite a summer scent.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fresh, light, citrusy summer scent. And I do get a little bit of kind of a slight sea air, maybe more as it dries down, but it's just like a hint of sea saltiness in there for me. Maybe it's the leather giving that effect. Do you get leather? Do you feel like you smell leather in the fragrance at all?
Not really. Maybe now you've said it, I do.
Yeah.
But to be honest, for me, my first impressions were just a very light, fresh, citrusy, and I associate leather with a little bit more kind of heavier, musky fragrances, which I wouldn't put that in that box at all.
So you think it's a nice, bright, citrusy summer fragrance. It's got, even though it is bright with citruses, I think the leather just gives it some nice depth as well. So it's not just a fleeting citrus, it hangs around. It's
no, I think citrus is what comes through first, but then like you say, I think there are sort of undertones.
Yeah. So you like it, you'd wear it?
Yeah, I think I would wear it. I think I prefer it on a guy.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, you can smell it on a guy, so let's see what you think, see if it smells any different on me.
Yeah, no, I like it.
See,
it does smell different on you.
Does it?
Yeah, it does, but I still like it.
So I think actually that I would like to smell this on a woman.
Oh, really?
I think it's completely unisex. I think it definitely works, and Mum really loves this one.
Yeah.
So there you go. I guess that.
I mean, I would wear it. I wouldn't be averse to wearing it myself. But if I smelt a guy wearing it, I'd find it pleasant. I certainly wouldn't think, are you wearing a girl's perfume?
If you smelled this on a guy, what mark out of 10 would you give it?
I think I'd have to go, I'd probably give it a 7.5. I like it. It's a really pleasant fragrance. But I'm not sure kind of how striking it is. You know, some fragrances kind of a complete stranger can walk past and you get a whiff and it completely takes you back to somewhere, a memory, it's really recognisable. Whereas it may just be because this is literally the first time I've smelt it, but I'm not sure I'd get that with this fragrance.
Okay.
But I'd certainly enjoy it here and now if someone was wearing it.
Yeah, I think it's just a very mass appealing, bright summer citrus fragrance that we both like.
I think you'd struggle to find someone who didn't like it. I think it's a nice fragrance.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet, I think, isn't it? Yeah. And compared to the others in the leather line, the Aqua Nomads collection, this is definitely lighter. This is a thinner, lighter, less complex fragrance. The others are much heavier.
Yeah, much lighter, because I'm not sure whether I actually really like heavier, more leathery scents, whereas this one I do really like. So I think it is just a very subtle leathery.
Yeah, the leather's very
Undertone,
subtle, yeah.
yeah.
It's there, but it's subtle, just balancing the citruses out really nicely.
Yeah.
Great, okay. Well, thank you, Tasha, for joining me in this part of this video. It was a nice little bonus. Thanks for coming in.
No problem. Thank you for having me again.
Anytime. So there you go, a bit of feedback from other people for you. I think you get the idea that it's a very easy fragrance to wear and enjoy because it isn't challenging, it isn't complex. In my opinion, it is a very nicely done citrus fragrance, easily the best summer fragrance option of Memo's Queer Nomads line. Let's do some fragment. This is absolutely a summer fragrance for me. I think you could wear it all year round, no problem. It's got that versatility, but because of the refreshing citrus accords, it might just get lost a little in the cooler temperatures. So summer for me is the best time to wear this. Occasions, this could be a summer signature scent. I wouldn't say it's a special occasion scent or an evening scent or a date night scent. You could wear it for those things, but for me, this is a daytime summer signature scent. Absolutely 100% unisex. In terms of the performance, I would say it's the worst in terms of performance from all the Queer Nomads line, but that's not a negative because performance isn't bad, it's just because of the nature of the composition of this one. It's a thinner, lighter, more subtle fragrance. So I'm getting around an hour of projection. I'm estimating it's going to be, you know, roughly around half an arm's length, or that's really difficult to work out for sure, but that would be my best guess. And then it's going to last on the skin, or it lasted on my skin for around about 6 hours. So it's there as a skin scent, like I said, subtle but elegant. If you want to pick this up, this is being sold by Harvey Nichols here in the UK. It's £215 for a 75ml bottle. It is an eau de parfum concentration, so it's not a cheap fragrance. As always with these types of fragrances, you're buying into the quality, you're buying into luxury niche. And I think many people would think it's worth paying £215 for a fragrance that has that quality. Many wouldn't. Maybe if you want to try this, get some samples first, definitely sample, and you might want to pick up a partial bottle in a Facebook group or a bottle that is part used. But full retail, £215. So there you go, some information and my opinions on ocean leather from Memo Paris. Thank you for joining me on this location. This is a special one for me. I'm so pleased that I can sit here and make a video for you in a place that holds so many memories of the ocean for me, an appropriate location as well to talk about this fragrance. I love it. Judging by how much everyone in my family seems to love this, they might be borrowing this quite a lot. In fact, I think we're going to need a bigger bottle.
Flash your dad. Flash dad.
Drive around in a city full of shame. Everything feels hollow when you are away. When it all comes down. When our life is too.
I'm going on a little filming trip today. I'm driving out to the coast because I'm filming a video about oceanic fragrances. Never been to this place. I've been close to it. I think it should be a nice, interesting, rocky coastline. I've checked it out on Google Maps. Looks pretty good. It's over an hour away, so fingers crossed it's a good location for filming. Let's check it out. It is so gorgeous and sunny out there right now that I've even had to apply sun cream. It smells like summer right now. Love it. The sea. We found the sea. I found the ocean. Unfortunately, it seems fairly quiet. I'm not filming on there, but that's a backup because there's no one currently on there. That would be perfect. And if I look around, it's not too busy, so hopefully we'll find a good spot. reasons I love marine oceanic fragrances so much. I love being by the ocean. I have many happy memories, so anything that reminds me of that and evokes an emotional response instantly gets a thumbs up. The other reason is oceanic scents just happen to be bright, invigorating and mass appealing. So many reasons to enjoy these types of fragrances. Okay, here are 10 from my collection that I enjoy the most. Okay, the first one is a very popular designer fragrance. It takes the ocean, puts it in a bottle, adds some sex appeal, so what you get washing up on shore from Giorgio Armani is Acqua di Gio Profumo. In this there's a refreshing citrus combined with slightly salty sea notes in the opening, then it's joined by sophisticated aromatic herbal notes. What takes this to another level for me is the incense. Not something I associate with the sea, but it partners with the sea notes so well. Something about incense for me that has a mysterious quality. So this is the olfactory equivalent of sitting in a dimly lit oceanside inn, listening to a grizzled old sailor telling mysterious tales of his voyages. A bit like that scene in Jaws. But the only thing this one is killing is the ladies. So if you want to smell like the mysteries of the ocean and be a bit of a lady killer, let this one sink its teeth into you and drag you off to the murky depths, so you can hopefully find some hot mermaids or just go clubbing. Next up is a scent from Art de Parfum. This one makes me grin from ear to ear every time I smell it. It's called Le Joker. Funny that. This scent is superb, so superb in fact it was a gold winner at the Pure Beauty Awards last year. It's bright and invigorating, yet at the same time it has a smokiness which makes it feel dark and dangerous. And for me it's this contrast that gives the scent a mischievous, playful character. Blended in with all that is a salty ambergris that gives off a slightly dirty seaweed accord that reminds me a little bit of Tom Ford's Eau de Mineral. Le Joker is just a riot of a fragrance. If you want to portray anarchy and charm in equal measure and also be reminded of a dark and stormy ocean, give it a try. I've already mentioned this next one. It's a beauty from Tom Ford, now sadly discontinued, Eau de Mineral. Walking along a rocky coastline, smelling the saltiness of the sea, slippy green seaweed on the rocks, salt covered neoprene wetsuits I used to wear when snorkeling. Add to all that magic Tom Ford sexiness, and what you have is quite an artistic fragrance that when warmed up by the skin becomes this oceanic weapon of seduction. I like to call it the torpedo. Not really, I just made that up, but I quite like it. Tom Ford torpedo blows anything else out the water. This next one is a little less creative, but it's still a sexy little siren from Dolce & Gabbana. It's light blue or intense. This is fruity, musky and sea salty. It's also bright, uplifting and invigorating. All that summertime good stuff. Makes me think of clear blue waters somewhere in the Mediterranean, so not quite these stormy oceans I'm sitting next to right now. I'm sitting on a cool oceanside bar, drinking a cocktail without a care in the world. For me, this has good time holiday vibes. It's a straightforward, easy to wear, mass appealing scent that plays all the right notes in the right order. Spray this and I can absolutely guarantee you will be smelling of Dolce & Gabbana's light blue or intense. And that, my friends, is a very, very good thing indeed. As good as light blue is, if you're looking for something with a bit more gravitas, a bit more weight, a bit more sophisticated, you might want to look at Riviera Lazuli from Atelier des Ors. This opens with citrus and a bit of greenness, and then you get herbs, fir and incense, and it has this depth and richness that make it a very sensual type of scent. And there's also a bit of creaminess which just adds even more to its inviting nature. Makes me think of driving with the top down, ocean on one side, green pine trees on the other. This bottle has something in it, not gold flakes, well it does have gold flakes, but something else, a message. And that message is, I am sexy, classy and confident. Now that is a message in a bottle I am definitely here for. Going back to fun and youthful, this is one of the most fun and youthful scents I own. From Paco Rabanne, it's Invictus Aqua. As you can see, this is the first formulation from 2016. The one you buy now doesn't have the attention-grabbing yuzu note that this does, but it's still a very good fragrance. This just has the fun factor from that bubblegummy accord of Invictus, but the C notes balance out the sweetness, so Aqua smells a bit more refined and classy. Don't get me wrong, still tons of fun and will certainly please the crowds. This is a fun, oceanic party scent that also manages to be quite cool and collected. And don't worry about 2018 not being as good as 2016. 2018 will do you just fine. It's a good fragrance. But if you and I end up at the same party and you're wearing 2018 and I'm wearing 2016, I can take great delight in knowing I'll smell better. Always honesty on this channel. We're going from a party at a beachside shack to a cool oceanside cocktail lounge with Roja Parfums Oceania. I'd describe this as fruity floral, and as always with Roja Parfums, the blend is impeccably smooth. This sparkles and shimmers like the sunlight dancing on gentle ocean waves. It doesn't have salty sea notes, so it doesn't smell literally like the ocean like some of the others in the list, but rather it evokes the feeling of warm, inviting, calm sea. Extremely refined and sophisticated scent that is an absolute dream to wear in the summer heat. If you want to sparkle like the ocean and also smell like the classiest person in the room, take a plunge into Oceania. Next up is Aaron Terence Hughes' take on a blue oceanic scent. It's called Odyssey. This is part of the line where Aaron works with cheaper synthetic materials which allow him to significantly bring the cost down. It's a great example of how synthetics can smell great. Synthetics aren't bad, nearly all fragrances use them to some degree, and often they can improve a fragrance. So Odyssey is bright and fruity with a very smooth musky base. Almost smells like there's a bit of coconut because I get a fun, very mass appealing tropical sort of vibe. If you want something from Aaron that is fun, super easy to wear, likely to elicit compliments and doesn't cost too much, this one might be for you. It's not Homer's, it's Aaron's, and I love it. Okay, this one just had to be in here. It doesn't smell like the ocean, but it's damn fine stuff that I wouldn't mind swimming in. Bleu de Chanel. This is just so well put together by Jacques Polge. Citrus, woods and incense combined to create a high quality, mass appealing, sophisticated scent that really kicked off the blue fragrance craze. Actually, it kind of does make me think of the ocean because I made a video about this by the ocean in Portugal, so I have great memories of that. If you're looking for a fragrance that has the quality, has the class and is pretty much universally enjoyed by everyone, it might be time for you to try blue. The final one is one of the best and most unique oceanic fragrances I've ever smelled. From Sarah Baker, it's Atlant. It has a beautifully rounded fruity opening that blends seamlessly with a salty marine accord. I don't think it's that easy to come up with unique citrus marine scents because the parameters in which to work must be quite narrow, but here it's been done so superbly well. It manages to be creative and different while still being very easy to wear and mass appealing. If you want something that is bright and uplifting, something that reminds you of the ocean, something that smells unique, something that makes you smell fantastic, I think Atlant ticks all the boxes. I love oceanic fragrances. Salty, seaweedy, woody, perfect for when you're trudging through a salty, seaweedy rock pool. So while I'm on the coast, I thought I would share with you 5 of my favourite oceanic fragrances. Oh, there's a crab. This fragrance wasn't liked by everyone when it came out, but those who do like it really liked it, and I'm one of those. It caught me by surprise. I did not expect a 1 million flanker to remind me of summers by the ocean. I'm talking about 1 million Parfum. So we've got some of that sweet 1 million DNA, and it's got a really nice indolic characteristic, probably coming from the tuberose. But what I love most about this fragrance is the salty skin accord. It just makes me think of being by the ocean. You've been in the sea, you've got salty skin, and you put your sun cream on, because this has got a little bit of coconut, so it's got a bit of a tropical feel. So suntan lotion by the ocean, that's what I've been doing this week. It's sunny here, and I gotta say, 1 million Parfum, working a treat. I'm currently just trudging through a pool of seaweed, which is quite appropriate for the next fragrance, Tom Ford's Costa Azzurra. So this has that marine-like, slightly salty accord, but it also has a seaweed note. And I wouldn't say it's a full-on seaweedy smell like the actual seaweed here smells, but it does give you that oceanic type of vibe. This is a really classy fragrance. Part of the reason for that is these crisp green herbal accords, and I think the masterstroke of Costa Azzurra is to include incense. And just like with Acqua di Profumo, the incense works really well with these salty marine accords. So very classy fragrance. Performance, yeah, okay, not the best, but if you wear this on a warm summer's evening, preferably somewhere near the ocean, I like it. The next fragrance is probably the one that smells most realistically of the ocean, Tom Ford's Une Mineral. And this has a real dirtiness to it. It's got that salty, wet seaweed type of smell, which is, in all honesty, not a pleasant smell when you come down to the ocean, but because I associate it with good memories, I guess that it's a smell that I've kind of grown to like in some sort of perverse way. And obviously Une Mineral is blended to be a wearable fragrance, but even so, there's something about this fragrance that makes me wonder what it is about it that makes me keep coming back to it. And I think it is. I think it's just good associations, good memories. There's something else about this fragrance that I like, and it's this wetsuit material, neoprene. I don't know if it's the mineral accords in here, but it just makes me think of wetsuits, and I could just be imagining that. It could just be an association that I have when I smell this neoprene material, that it reminds me of the smells of the ocean. But whatever it is, I keep coming back to this fragrance. I really enjoy it. This is the EDP, which is now discontinued, and EDT has just been re-released. I haven't smelt that one. It might smell differently. Let me know if you've smelled that. Tom Ford are selling it £94 for 50ml. I'll try it at some point, but for now, loving Une Mineral EDP. The last fragrance is a dupe, and the more I've been wearing this fragrance over the last few months, the more I've really been enjoying it, even more so than the Creed original on which it's based. Armaf's Club de Nuit Milestone. It smells very similar to Creed's Millésime Imperial. We've got some sea saltiness, a little bit of fruitiness, but it's all very smooth. And the interesting thing about Milestone is a lot of people in the know. I don't have that much experience with Millésime Imperial. It wasn't one of my favourite Creeds. I do enjoy this more than the Creed, but people that I know that are in the know, you know who those people might be, say this one is better than the Creed. And the fact that this is a fraction of the cost is just pretty mind-blowing. So, Club de Nuit Milestone. Great fragrance, easy to wear, sea salty ocean vibes, and versatile enough, I would say, to just wear whenever you want. Very affordable, very good. As you can see, I love the ocean, which is why I love fragrances that remind me of the ocean. What do you think of my choices? And what are your favourite fragrances that remind you of the ocean? If you like this video, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.